It is hard to imagine that this time next year, we will no longer be full members of the European Union, and that the transition period to withdraw from the EU will have begun. It's hard to imagine in part because of the shambolic, tortured way that the Tories have conducted negotiations with the EU, and in part because over 45 years of European membership and economic integration is such a long time. I campaign to remain, but as a Democrat I respect the compound result of the 2014 and the 2016 referenda, and as a result the UK will leave the EU. Labour's priorities in Scotland, and across the UK, as we leave are how best to promote the interests of working people and how best to build an economy that works in the interests of the many, not the few. That means some fundamental changes to the approach to economic development, including a greater level of economic democracy. And we need to unleash innovation and tap more into the ingenuity of working people too to strengthen our economy. This week the Fraser of Allender Institute called for a single unified vision for the Scottish economy. They are right. We always needed to build our economy with more planning and less market, with more emphasis on indigenous business growth and less reliance on the invisible hand of the market to find solutions. With Brexit the urgency for this change in direction becomes even greater. The economy needs diversification, our export base remains too narrow, and our business research and development rests on a handful of firms. So now is the time to act, and act radically. The UK government is in disarray, and it is continuing to trample over the devolution settlement by failing to amend Clause 11 of the EU Withdrawal Bill. Labour is the party of devolution, and we will always protect it. That's why we supported the continuity bills in Scotland and in Wales. And when the time comes, we will judge the Tories' Brexit deal on the 6 tests set by Keir Starmer, and backed this month by the Scottish Labour Conference in Dundee. Tests that would protect workers' rights, the devolution settlement, and secure a future relationship with the EU. If it doesn't meet those tests, Labour will vote down the deal. At that point there is every likelihood of a crisis of confidence at the heart of government and pressure for a UK general election. It is an election which we in the Scottish Labour Party will relish, not for our own sake but for the sake of the country, which is calling now for real change. Richard Leonard is leader of Scottish Labour.